This is not appropriate. I should probably put on some more clothes. Sorry about that. Why, hello! I went back to the junk store. I have a few junk stores that I like to frequent, and every once in a while you'll find a gem. Winsor and Newton Artist Pastels. I have never played with this brand of artist pastels. I don't know the quality of them. I don't know if they'll hold up over time. This is way off topic, but I can't seem to help myself. If you've ever done stuff like street painting, doing portraits and stuff very quickly, it's very good to do them with pastels, because you could do it real quick. In my youth, I did quite a few of them. I thought this would be a lot of fun to test out because I've never played with this brand of pastels before. I don't expect light fastness because
I've been burned too many times.
An unused set. Nobody even touched these. Somebody donated them to a junk store. I don't know the story behind them, but we're gonna give them a shot, see what we can do with them. For those people out there that like realism, why? Pastels are a really cool way to get realism really quick. I'm not the biggest fan of realism. I don't... If I want something to look realistic, I'll take a picture. That's it. But that's just me. I like the things that are just a little off, a little weird, a little extra. I like the things that are used to communicate things that you can't otherwise visually do. Art for me is a medium that goes above and beyond that. Do you hear that, dog? Oh, Boogie Bear, I don't know what you're up to. Art for me is a medium that goes above and beyond trying to capture realism. Art is for capturing the things that can't otherwise be spoken or described in photograph or video. Or art is for the things that are beyond that, the things that can't otherwise be said. That's what art's for.
So here's the new toys. Why are they stuck in the box? Oh, come on. Why? They came very well packaged. These must have been fancy when they were bought. I don't know. I don't even think they make these anymore. I have no interest in looking up instructions on how to use them or any of that kind of stuff. No, that's just boring. I just want to get messy and do them. Can we say alien landscape today? Yes. Look at all of these spheres or orbs or planets or I don't know. Who knows? We're going to figure it out as we go because that's just how it works.
I'm not made for planning.
But initial thoughts, they're going down pretty nice and smoothing out real nice together. Look at my fingers. Pastels are real messy, so if you're not used to that, it's probably not the supply for you. If you have issues with touching chalk and those sorts of textures, these are definitely not the supplies for you.
You do your own thing, okay? I'm not your mom.
But I'm not a texture person, so none of this stuff bothers me. In fact, it doesn't matter what supply I use, I end up getting messy every single time. I could be using number 2 school pencils, and still somehow get graphite on my face. It just happens. I can't explain it.
And I'm so messy that it's actually a thing. Yes. Chaos.
I make no claims about being a graceful and refined lady because I am not. I am just me and all of my messiness. I will claim to be a pretty decent cook though. I can throw together a pretty mean sourdough. Our painting here is turning into planets. Galaxy planets, that sort of thing. We're just gonna smush things around until it looks a little, galaxy-ish. If anybody out there ever asks me about techniques and that kind of thing, I always have the same answer, that I'm sorry, I don't have techniques, I don't make plans, I don't have methods, I don't have any of that kind of stuff. I just do stuff. I know that sounds awful. It's hard to reproduce stuff a lot of times. Just when when you're doing stuff by feeling, when you're doing stuff by vibe. A lot of art that I do while meditating. So, if you've done a lot of meditating, if you know what that feeling is like of being in the flow, that direct connection between you and the creation and you and the thing that you are making, and it feels like you're getting things from elsewhere, that the work that you are doing is not actually coming from you. It's coming from elsewhere. That's what that connection feels like when you hit that right flow correctly. And I've been able to reach that stage of meditative action in so many forms of life. So it's not just art. I meditate constantly, all day, every day, while I'm awake, while I'm doing things, while I have my hands busy and doing things. That's just what I do. I do it in my sleep too. It's just all the time, as much as I can. The only time I don't really have the capacity to is when I'm talking. I have to take a break when I'm talking because for me, talking is so intensive of a process that I just can't do anything else while I'm doing it. I can hardly walk while I'm talking. It is what it is. Oh man, have you ever experienced completion and wholeness in nirvana while mixing up a bread dough? Oh, give me that feeling all the time. Just mainline it straight into my veins. That's a joke, y'all. Don't do drugs, okay? Modern drugs are weaponized in their strength. The grass of the 70s is not the same as the grass of today, okay? It's not the same. It is something new entirely and should be treated as such. I know all the old hippies have old, pleasant feelings, but it's different for my generation. Things have been changed. You know what I miss? I miss the old hippies. I miss the old ways of living. The people who actually had the old skills and kept those alive. You know, the hippies who were blacksmithing, the hippies who were making their own shoes and building their own cabins and growing their own food and making their own kombucha. I miss those people. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they aged out. I don't know. I don't see them anymore. All of the art fairs have turned into Instagram hipster people, commercialized sort of visuals and production, and a lot of the individuality of the old hippie art is gone. I just haven't seen it in a long, long time. And I've kind of stepped away from a lot of the art world, more or less for that reason. I stopped seeing value in it. A lot of it has been so commercialized and whitewashed, something really commercial and ugly. It's lost a lot of its value. Did all of the hippies become liberal communists? Is that what happened? Is that what happened when I wasn't looking? They just all became communists. Is that what happened? I don't know. I don't like it. I miss the old people. I miss the old hippies. I miss the old ways. The arts are meant to be the fourth wall, and it is shameful, so deeply shameful to see what it's become. I am so ashamed of so many of the modern artists. I really am. And I feel such a deep rumbling anger about it. It's just ongoing, and it was something I will be salty about for the rest of my life. So many have disappointed me. And once you actually start to see things, you'll start to comprehend how many weak-willed, sleepwalking people there are out there. And it's going to be ugly when they start waking up to figure out what's happened. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be a real ugly turnover. And there is nothing I can do to make this easier, and it makes me want to cry. All I can do is keep pressing forward. That's literally all I can do. That's all any of us can really do. Keep a deep pantry, pay off any debts that you can, try to become as self-reliant as you can. Because as all these systems start breaking down, people are going to lose their minds. My generation is not ready for this. We have not been tested in the same way as generations of past. My parents' generation has not been tested in the same way of generations past. Not at all. This has not happened for thousands of years. That would be where my bet would be placed. This is new. This is new to us. It's an incredible time to be alive and to see what's going to happen and to actually be part of it. I've had banking dreams of the stock market going away and just not coming back. What are all the people living off of 401ks going to do when that happens, if that happens? What are you going to do? What's your plan? How do you plan for that? How do you plan for the crumbling of every institution you've ever known for your entire life? I think the answer is that you don't. You can't. All you can do is the best you can and to try to fill as many knowledge gaps as you can, to keep pressing forward, keep trying to learn, keep trying to figure it out, and to do the best you can, because that is the only option that's available. If you want to see the other side of this, if you want to see what it's like to be a real natural human, to actually see what we are capable of, what we can actually do, to see us go interstellar, to see us go beyond and go to other stars, other systems, other ways of life, and new technology. We are meant for much more than this. We are meant for much grander things, and I have seen many of them. But there is so much beyond my current comprehension, so much beyond it. All we can do right now is just keep pressing forward, because the future is bright, and it's beautiful, and the universe is unaccountably exquisite in its complexity and grandness and beauty. Keep going.